Hi, this is Cath, the plant-based nutritionist at Seeking Health, and there's a common idea in our society that people who are obese are somehow lacking in willpower or discipline and self-control, and that somehow that's the reason that they're overweight, that they should just be able to push themselves away from the table earlier. And there's no question that there's an element of discipline in organizing your life in order to enjoy better health. You have to learn about what the right diet is, and you have to shop for food, and you have to prepare the foods, and you have to make time for exercise. And so, especially to start with, those are activities that do require some discipline. But what people don't realize is that people don't become overweight because they're slothful human beings. Many people who are overweight are very successful in other areas of their lives that do also require discipline. So they're often well educated, they might have responsible jobs, they're good parents, they have good relationships, and they achieve many other things in life that require discipline. And what people don't realize is that overweight people actually receive a lot of help in becoming and staying overweight. They're really helped a lot by advertising and marketing. They're helped by easy access to cheap foods, and the very nature of the modern food supply is kind of addictive. It helps them to stay overweight. And over the last few decades, there's been this explosion in our ability to access and afford really highly palatable foods. And although people recognize that recreational drugs are addictive, that alcohol is addictive, smoking is addictive, but they often don't associate those kind of properties with food. Yet there are now countless studies that show that many foods light up the very same areas of the brain as do things like cocaine and heroin. And in the food industry, they talk about these three compass points of palatability, and those points are sugar, fat, and salt. And so when these compass points are manipulated to optimal ratios, they create a bliss point in the brain. And so when we put food that's rich in sugar, fat, and salt in our mouths, we're stimulating neurons, which are the basic cells of the brain. And neurons are connected in circuits, and they communicate with one another to create feelings, and they store information, and they control behavior. And the neurons respond to rewarding foods by firing electrical signals and releasing brain chemicals that kind of travel to these other interconnected neurons. And then what we say is that these neurons are encoded for palatability. And so this is what causes people to want to eat more and more of these foods. And we've probably all experienced this to a certain extent. We might be familiar to different extents with that type of feeling of wanting to eat more foods, but possibly our choice of food might be different. So, for me, the more chocolate I eat, the more I want. For somebody else, it might be potato chips. And the reason that these kind of foods have this effect is that they stimulate the dopamine receptors in the brain, and so it's very pleasurable to eat these foods. So it really isn't just about willpower and discipline, or knowledge, because I know a hell of a lot about why I shouldn't eat chocolate, and I think I'm a fairly disciplined person. But if you put chocolate in my house, sooner or later I'm gonna eat it. It's not a willpower issue, it's an environmental issue. So I'm going to advise everybody to do two things today. If you've not yet sanitized your environment from bad foods, just get rid of the stuff so that you're not tempted. And the second thing I'm going to advise is for you to have a little bit more compassion for people who are struggling with their weight and have no idea why they're failing in their weight loss attempts. Now, I said there was two, but I'm actually going to add a third. So if you're struggling to lose weight and you don't know why you're failing, register for my free weight loss resources, and also check out my online weight loss program. You'll see the links in the description below. The weight loss program is very effective in helping people who are addicted to processed foods to recover from their addiction and to lose weight, and it also gives you a really good education about eating for health as well as for weight loss. So thanks very much for listening.